Hi, this is Srinivas Tamada, founder of 9lesson.info. I think last week I explained how to do a split panel with the Ionic framework. Like I explained, I think hope you guys are following my the series of Ionic. So today I'm going to explain how to insert and delete. If you see this URL, you will find the demo and you can update things. If you see, it's going to the update and you can delete the status as well. So I'm going to explain this how we can achieve this. uh, let's go to our project. So this is what the project, and I think for this we need to modify the API, PHP API. Hope you can check out from the GitHub. So here I just introduced a new two functions, like feed update and feed delete, like user feed update, and this is just delete. You can just follow the existing ones. I explained already in my previous videos. So I just created two new things. Like if you go to the feed update, like I'm just taking the post values like user ID, token, and feed. I mean whatever user types here, and then I'm just verifying the token. Is it a valid or not with the side key? This will give the proper and I'm just inserting here this is just a demo, so that's why I'm not doing any some modifications. Like here I'm just inserting the user update, and I'm not doing much validations. Like you can duplicate things here. Like usually you have to verify, like if your the immediate update should not be the same, so you have to check that as well here. This is just a demo, so I'm not doing much validations here. And once it got inserted, I'm just pulling the information like from the feed table, and I'm just giving to this, and I'm exposing that. The same with the delete statement, like same function. Like here also we need user ID, token, and feed ID here. Like so here, because this one provides the feed details, so based on that we'll get the feed ID. The based on the feed ID we are just deleting, and we are just saying that it is success or failure. So this is already I deployed in this hosting URL. If you see API, wall script, and RESTful feed update, and I connected the same way you can host it. You can download it from the Git. So let's start the project. So this is what we did last time. So let's modify this and how we're going to achieve this. So back to the project. Thing is yeah, this is what the project is. Yep, now we have home page, and let's minimize this, and you can see the real-time updates. Yeah, we don't want to display all this stuff, so I'm just dropping off. And instead of that, I'm just creating a ion item. So here I'm going to create a text box, I mean the text area, and the same way the button. And these are the default things like ion button. And if you have any color, we already specified all the colors here in the variables. Like I'm going to use energy and some click action here, and the value is update. Let's save it. And if you see, it comes this way, so we need to quickly modify the design for this. Let's go to the I'm giving a small ID for this, like update box I'm giving. So go to the SAS, and I'm just inside this and update box. I'm just writing text area, because this way it will not apply for other things. Like I'm giving width 100%. Yes, and back to this, and sometime you have to give it in the row, otherwise things is going to be hidden mode. So yeah, so because of because the adjustments we need to give rows and all. So yeah, the update button is okay, and now I'm just giving two click actions like like feed update, and we don't want anything here like the same way, and we need to write for feed delete here. So, and I'm going to introduce a icon here like for delete icon, because right now we are not displaying any icon. So icon name and like trash of the icon, yeah, and let's write the click action like click and feed delete, and here we need a item, I mean this is item, and dot feed id, because this set is giving it, because I'll just show you here, like if you check the feed response, like so this is what the feed, and you will get the feed id as well. So this is what the feed id, so based on that you can directly check that. So yeah, so the icon, like the click action also we written, so we can give, like we can move this to right side. If this will not work, you need to keep this in the item, so otherwise few components will not work. And I'm just closing this with item and see what happens, and move this up. It's in the card container, I mean card content. So yeah, now see, if you see it, design has been a little bit changed. If you want, you can change like make it a little more smaller, but anyway, so we're not much worrying about the design right now. So back to the code. So we need to give some actions to this. So this is what the home page. Anyway, we moved this to different, okay, just forget it. Like I'm just writing that feed update function and the feed delete function. So here just you need to follow the same, like whatever we have explained a long time back. So for connecting the authentication, you just take this off, and instead of this we are giving feed update. And in the user post data, like uh, here always we need a user ID and token for this for getting feed, but right now I'm going to introduce one more thing called feed, and it's an empty right now. So this feed I'm going to assign it to I mean binding to this text area. So go to here, like ng model and user post data dot feed. So we just assign to this, so we are getting this. So everything is setting up here, like anyway we are setting up the user ID and token based on the local host. So we are sending this to here. Here I'm just giving a small validation check, like the value is there or not, like this dot user post data dot feed, it should be there. Yep, it's got loaded, and see this, like let me maximize this and see the log. So go to the network and see is it hitting or not. So if you see this, the feed is, I'm getting it, but I'm not assigning anything to this. So we need to do some more things here, like what happened if once got the response. Right now we're getting the response. Let's again, I'll try some AAA and try to refresh this. See, it's inserting, but once it got success, like I need to, because we are copying from here, so we need to drop off things here. And what exactly we need to do, whatever the response comes, we need to push it to this dot push and not equal to that, because yeah, I'm pushing this. And let's see now if you use the push thing, like uh, let's saving it. Yeah, now if you see any update here, like it is updating, I mean the appending here, like after that we need to do prepend. So for that, instead of push, like it's because the data set is the JSON array, like in whatever response comes, I'm pushing it here. Instead of push, you can use like unshift. It's a built-in function, like if you see any update. And after that, like once the data got inserted, we need to reset this to empty, because here we should not show anything here. So let's make it empty here. Let's save and refresh. Yep, let's type something. Yeah, it's inserting. I think I didn't save properly. Let's save it again. And yep, let's see. See, it's updating now, like 1, 2, 3, and we can give some URLs like Google. And I explain all this, how to import plugins and all to enable the Linkify and all. So the same way we need to implement for the delete as well. So here we need, if you see the delete thing, I'm just passing the feed ID anyway. So, and the same way we need to modify the introduce the like the object, we need a feed ID here as well. So feed ID, and the API will ignore if you send any MP values. That way you need to design it. So I'm getting the feed ID right now. I mean, created a feed ID. The same function I am copying, I mean the thing, and pasting it here. Instead of feed update, I'm just giving feed delete. And here we need to check always the feed ID. And so this one, again, we need to check the feed ID is available or not. I mean, it's always greater than. And you have to update the, like, the delete. You have to improve the delete API thing. You have to check proper, is that a valid user ID or user update or not. So I'm just checking here anyway. We need to assign it to this one as well. So this object we need to fill with the new one. So dot feed ID equal to, because this one only we are sending to the server, so equal to the feed ID. So let's see, and what we are going to do here, and we need to decide. So we don't want this, and this is like the response is coming like success. If you maximize this and inspect, and if you see the network, let's delete this. So if you see the delete statement, feed got deleted. And if you see, if I refresh it, maybe this is going off now. So we need to make it dynamic here. So we need to remove from the view as well. So like we need to know the index of the grid here, like I mean the view grid. So in the loop, like we can get the index, like usually you can directly use the index as well here, like index. But if you have like comments, everything, so that will be a problem in future. So let's create a message index equal to index. So this message index, I am passing it here. So, and then this message ID I'm taking here, and just finding out we have the data set, the loop, like data set dot splice. I think, hope you guys know how we can remove this from the array, anything like splice, and we have to take this index part and then 1. So let's see. If you see this, we are deleting off, like things we are deleting, and you can update, and you can delete, you can do whatever you want. And it is updating the time stamps, everything, because my server is a little down. So Yeah, sometime it will be delayed. Yeah, it's a few seconds ago. Yeah, so you can delete it. But you know, if you want, you can add a alert thing here, like alert controller. Like as Ionic is giving alert controller, you can import this alert controller in the like, you know, Angular. So I'm just importing here. So anyway, we want this, and copy this and import it. I mean, inject in the constructor, like just paste it here. Okay, we are going to use this. Just follow this. Let's go to this confirmation thing, like how this works. So yeah, I'm taking this part. I'm going to implement this for like delete thing, feed delete. So go here. Anyway, we need to check after this, so I'm pasting it here, the code, and this piece, I mean this entire service thing, once it got okay, it'll go here. So I'm changing by to delete, and I'm changing the title to delete delete update or delete feed, and delete this feed, like delete cancel. Okay, let's save it. And now if you delete something, you will get this, and if you cancel it, nothing will happen. If I click delete, it will go off. So this way you can implement the confirmations for delete, because yeah, in the previous videos, many people ask me why you don't have a loading thing, like, you know, if why, because we don't know what is happening in the server. If server is down, we need to show some loading icon here. So let's implement quickly, like this loading controller. So you can go to the loading controller and you can use this like present, and you can cancel loading. But you know, this one is most commonly used for, you need to implement this for delete, update, or getting a feeds, whatever you, wherever you want, and every page need this. So we cannot duplicate the same thing everywhere. So instead of that, we can create a small provider here this way, and you can use it commonly, like, you know, I'm just going to this project. This is what the project, sorry. Yeah, Ionic generate like provider. It's, I'm going to call it as a common, like we can, if you want, you can use like toast controllers, everything here. So I'm just quickly creating a small provider. So if go back, this common, like let's minimize everything. So we don't want all this. So we want, like, you know, loading controller. This is like, you know, loading controller from, this is like Ionic properties. So this one I'm going to inject here. Like, anyway, we don't want this. So let's copy this and paste it here. And this will be the loading CTRL. It's a short name for this. And let's implement here, like, you know, present loading. I think you can get this code from the like from the any components, like close loading, and here, like, I just following these things, like this dot, let's create a small variable like public loader any, because this one I'm assigning it here. Equal to this dot loading control dot, and like create, and like here you can, like, you know, content, what exactly you want to show here, like please wait, it's loading like something, and here like this dot loader dot present. and this one like closing things, dismiss. All these things you will find out in the documentation. So okay, this is a mistake. Okay. So whenever you create a new property, you need to import this in the module, like so properties, like we introduced a new one, so call it as a common, and this is common, and import this in the provider. Yeah, it's ready now. So the same way, how to import that as well here. And you have to inject this here, public. Yeah, so using this, like you can call this present loading and close loading, like so initially we can use here like in the feeds, right? So yeah, this dot you can use common dot present loading. The same way, after closing everything, I mean once you got the response, you can close it. The same thing you can do it for all the things, like once you have anything, just present loading, and once it got done, go to close. Okay, let's test this quickly, and let me update something and see is it loading thing is coming or not. So if you see, there is a please wait thing is coming. Because of that, it's waiting for the response, and that way, like, and you can implement this everywhere, like when you update the screen as well, you'll get that. Yeah, pretty much we completed everything, so I'm going to commit this code in the git, like and like I'm going to push as well, like is deploy. So this will deploy into the event banana.9lesson.info as well. So yeah, almost done. Maybe in the next post I'll explain how to do the, like server side pagination, like infinity scrolling and all, and we'll discuss some more. Thank you, thanks a lot for watching my videos.